Welcome. Okay, so tonight's stream is called Crystal Balls. It's only balls because, it sounds funnier than crystal ball. But you know the old saying, right? Like you can it's not an old saying, but it's sort of like a psychic looks into their crystal ball and sees the future. Well, today I was at work and I was bored and I was thinking, man, I'm always thinking about the future at work. I'm never really thinking about the future at AOC when I'm, playing the game, watching Rex. So I decided I was going to try to predict the future. So I made some parameters. Balls, yes. Nero likes the balls. Well, I mean the title. Didn't mean to get all weird on you. But yeah, anyway, the idea was I put in some parameters. First is it's a RM 1v1 rated player between rank 26 and 100 with a minimum of 300 games, a 3-year-old account, and not a known Smurf. And the whole idea here is let's see who is trending the most upwardly. And actually, there's one more parameter that I should add really quickly here. Let me just do that real fast. Parameter 5 is that this person gained 50 points. Okay, cool. Updating this as we go. Oh, no, it doesn't fit. Ciao Lucy with the cool ringtone. All right, cool. We are in order. Yeah, so I decided that I was going to, put in some parameters and let's see what comes out. So I went down through the list, number 26 all the way to 100, parsed that list based on who had played 300 games. That's like 20 or 25 of the people. I wanted to make sure to eliminate any Smurfs, and then I checked for accounts that are a little bit older, hopefully to eliminate even more Smurfs, not a known Smurf name, and a person who has gained 50 points since February. And I decided that I would cast a few games of whoever that player or those players might be. So this is Crystal Balls 1. This is the player who has gained the most, at least from that list that I looked at, meeting all of these parameters since February. Since Nero is already here, I will say that Nero is, I believe, second or third among this list. So I did this list totally unbiased. I just decided these are my parameters. I'm going to go look and see who's there, and maybe I can find who's going to be the next big thing in AOC. And Nero is one of the names that came up, so congrats to you, my friend. That's really impressive. You have gained, let's see, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but you have gained 95 points, I believe it was, in the last couple of months, and that's really impressive. So coming up on the world, don't trust nobody. But there is a player, there's actually 2 players who are just ahead of you, and that player today, the first top player, was Rasic. So I don't know this player. Hopefully it's not a Smurf. That would be really sad after all this work I put in. But, if it's a Smurf, what are you going to do? Smurfs are just that. They're hard to detect. But, yeah, just wanted to say before I get started, I just want to watch a few recs of this player. But what I did want to say is, it's really impressive to gain 205 points. If you see this graph, it's really small on my screen, but this player went from 1,800 to 2K in 3 months. Lots of hard work, lots of effort, I'm sure. And congratulations to Rasic. So yeah, going to watch a couple of recs of this player. Hopefully people like this because I think it's a cool idea. I thought it was a cool thing to try to do. But yeah, so I have some recs. I'm ready to jump in and get started. We are, let's see, we're on schedule, I think. Let's see, I told people 7 minutes. Oh no, that was like 10 minutes at least. Ciao Lucy speaking in other languages, speaking in tongues in the other room. Okay, so we have liftoff. Let's see. What up, Salty? Welcome. Yeah, so here we have it. We have the... good. Nice. Looks like we're in game. Looks like everything's good. So yeah, we have Gearforth, who is that is a different name for Rasic, our player of interest for the day. Looking into the crystal ball, a player who's going to be the next big thing in the future. I don't know. I mean, what do I really know? But I just figured Might be fun, might be interesting to try to put in some parameters and see who's on the up and up. And again, congratulations to Nero, who's here. He was on that list as well. Narrowed it down to 3 of the players who are moving on up in the world. And the first is Gearforth here, or Rasic. Okay, so we will see that player Rasic in gray. We have a Huns War on Arabia. These are from yesterday. This player is going to have some gold to the side, little structure to the left, structure to the right, can certainly close in the sides and eventually the front, but man, that front's a little bit hairy. Berries on the front on a downhill slope, stone on the front on a downhill slope. So going to be a little bit of a tough map here for, I guess we'll just say Rasic. You guys will know the gray player is Rasic. On the other side, we have in teal, also as Huns, Best Ezreal. I don't know who he is. Maybe a Smurf. Oh, I hope not, Nero. I hope not. That would be really sad. I was trying to eliminate Smurfs with all the parameters here. But yeah, could absolutely be a Smurf. But here we go. All right, so teal is going to have the main gold to the side here. Interestingly, Best Ezreal was also on that list. So Nero, Ezreal, and this player, Gearforth, a.k.a. Rasic, are the people of the day. You can ask a.k.a. Rated and see what happens. Oh, I should check that. Oh my god, Nero is here. That's what I said. Yeah, so we are going to see... Oh, actually, look at the aggressive scouting before we look at the maps. You can see that the gray player here, Rasic, is coming forward to get an idea of what his opponent has going on. Did see that his map is pretty crappy, so might as well go find your opponent's map and see what you can do to him. What he's going to find is that his opponent is... in somewhat decent shape. Certainly has a big opening here on the left flank that's going to be hard to defend. Berries near the back, going to have a nice wood line on the back. Gold to the side, can certainly close in if he wants to close in a little, but relatively open map here for the teal player. So all in all, teal's map is slightly better in my humble opinion, but a relatively fair game. Yeah. Salty and Nero, a little love in the stream. Yep, so here we are, watching a couple of games of Rasic. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, I will check the AKA Rated. Anyway, 4 on wood here for the teal player. Could be some early action. We will see. 3 on wood for the gray player, so not going to be doing a whole lot there. Actually waiting to build his mill, has found the deer, and is scouting forward. Early scouting forward for this new up-and-coming player who we are so excited about. I've gazed into the crystal ball, and the name Gearforth came out. Yeah, he is scouting forward while his opponent is scouting only his own side, trying to get an idea of what his map looks like is teal, but we can see gray here is working his way around, finding the gold, finding the deer patches, going to find the wood line as well, and is going to see in just a moment that his opponent... Oh, he's not going to see. He's going to actually veer straight toward the TC. Oh, no. Oh no, the crystal ball has given us... Oh no, we're going to see a scout die right off the bat. Okay, scout's going to live, but a bunch of unnecessary arrow fire there. A little bit unfortunate. A little bit of a lack of momentum here in the early game for our next big player. But yeah, he's going to continue to scout around, find the stone piles, and work his way around the side. So yeah, guys, welcome. Crystal balls today. Crystal ball would have been enough, but I like saying crystal balls. Yeah. So yeah, that scout is now on 12 HP. Obviously not going to be very useful, and wisely, Gray is sending that scout back. Can do more at home with it than he maybe can in the foreground. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we are going to see teal moving forward. Ezreal is starting to get a look at his opponent's map, slowly revealing through the side, and maybe he'll run straight at this TC as well. Maybe that would be a little tit for tat, as they say. But yeah, you can see Gray here is pushing a couple deer and making use of that scout. Might as well push deer if you're too wimpy to be forward. Unfortunately, though, he is going to get discovered here by Teal's scout, and he's going to get a couple free hits in, down to 8 health. Villagers trying to come in to push that scout away, but in general, man, Gray is in a little bit of an annoying spot there with the low HP scout. Yeah, so happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for being here in the channel. I think I'm super white, at least from what I can see out in the camera here. Man, I look so bright and white. It's nice. Nice. My tan went away. Yeah, Villagers v Scout on the side. You can see Gray is starting to move forward and trying to get a little bit more reveal of his opponent. We see the Gray player clicking up to Feudal at the moment. That player is on 22 Vils. I did not see Loom, but it is in. Okay, so we have Loom with 22 up. On the other side, push one more deer in, but he's actually going to... is he going to have to abandon? He's going to have to fight that off, certainly. But where is Teal Scout? He's back finding those sheep. Okay, so a really nice early game here from Ezreal. Very nice early game. Gonna have the Drush in play. Is he gonna lame this deer, or is he just pushing it? Yeah, gonna lame the deer. Why not? It's part of the game. Quick walling here by Wolf. Maybe when he sees it, is he gonna kill the wolf? Looking for... Okay, he's gonna get the scout involved. Cool. So the Teal player here is going to have 3 militia on relatively high HP and his scout, and the only thing Gray's got to defend is an 8 HP scout. You can see Teal's going to push one more deer in, but he's actually going to... is he going to have to abandon? He's going to have to fight that off, certainly. But where is Teal Scout? He's back finding those sheep. Okay, so a really nice early game here from Ezreal. Very nice early game. Going to have the Drush in play. Is he going to lame this deer, or is he just pushing it? Yeah, going to lame the deer. Why not? It's part of the game. Quick walling here by the Gray player, Rasic or Gearforth. Sorry about the naming issues. Quick stable coming down now that player is in the Feudal Age. Going to grab double bit axe and be ready to hopefully push this Drush back and show us what he's made of. So yeah, we are looking into the crystal ball today. Oh, Villagers v Scout on the front. Couple of militia in play. This villager's going to be all right, but she's going to have to go back home. Walling up on the side for the Gray player should be able to be just fine against this Drush, but very effective play early in the game here from Teal. Very effective. Being very annoying with that Drush. Absolutely in good shape. Not walling in at all back at home is Teal. Teal will be in the Feudal Age very soon, only on 25 Vils, so this is not a Drush Fast Castle build, at least not by the looks of it. If we look at the resources, we can see that Teal is, not really saving a whole lot up. So getting a little pressure in, but probably going to be able to build some more pressure of his own. Archery range on the way. Meanwhile, the Drush is starting to get cleaned up. He's able to grab a scout there. That's probably the initial low HP scout. Also able to distract 2 villagers from really doing anything. Teal taking a couple of free hits, but look at this. He's going to get a decent engagement downhill versus that villager. So continuing to harass his opponent. So yeah, we came into the day trying to watch Rasic here in Gray, Gearforth, but it seems like Ezreal at the moment has the momentum in this game. Certainly a decent Drush, a lot of distraction. Got to the Feudal Age later, did Teal, is going to have archers coming soon from double ranges. And will palisade in that front side. So Ezreal playing a pretty clean game so far. Nice little Drush. Eventually gets cleaned up and has to run back home, but he is against 2 scouts that are not on full HP. And that is, that's a decent start to the game for him. Still up by 1 Vil, and what's going on back at home? Okay, the walling at the moment is under duress. Villager's going to have to run off of that until the spear comes into play. Couple of archers as well to reinforce. So Ezreal is going to be just fine here. I like the closing in of this flank. Obviously, that's the spot to do it, using the cliff. It's going to be a very, very nice protective flank there. Protected flank. The other side, however, is going to be open. I just don't see him closing that anytime soon. Could close the front, but man, it's just so... it's an awkward area. So we'll see what Teal can do. But for now, it looks like Gray has the map control. Couple of scouts on the map. And what's going on back at home? We are seeing an archery range. Okay. So pretty normal Huns War here. A couple of scouts, archery, transition. It looks like actually, unfortunately for the Gray player, doesn't know that there's a cliff here. So he's going to do some extra palisade walling, waste some villager time, and that is unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, it is a pretty quiet game at the moment. A spear in play. Scouts trying to work their way around, but you can see Teal has a couple of spears on pretty much every corner of his base. Ooh, did he get a kill there on that farm? Not sure. Looked like he might have. Might have wasted some wood from his opponent. I don't know. Is that a thing? Can you do that? I don't even know. Killer Bee is befuddled. But yeah, we are seeing an archer skirmisher mix coming forward, +1 damage on those. We see more units forward for Teal. Archers and spears in play, going to do a great job against those scouts. Dropping a quick blacksmith against his opponent. You can see that Gearforth here has a couple of archery ranges, a stable, and a barracks up. Can certainly pump out units if he wants, but for the moment it is pretty much one skirm, a couple of scouts, and a whole bunch of villagers having to come into the fight here. Certainly not ideal to lose that villager fighting time, but at least he's pushing back this forward. But yeah, this is not ideal. You can see Teal is actually baiting him in, trying to get him closer to all of these archers. You can attack a farm when it's been placed and cause it to be destroyed. Yeah, I think that's what we just saw. I think that's a thing. I'm never fast enough to even attempt such things. So, yeah, how about that? So, we will see a little bit of wasted wood there. But in the end, Teal will have some momentum. He's camping out on top of this hill, which seems to be a very wise place to be. Going to lob arrows in all directions. Is he going to grab a Vil is the question. At the moment, he will not grab a Vil. He's going to get pushed back here. The skirmisher mix from Gray is pretty strong. +1 damage on those as well. Padded archer armor just coming in, so we will see a slight advantage for the Gray army. No, we won't. We'll see equal upgrades there. So Gray and Teal fighting it out in the middle. The Gray player has walled in a bit, certainly starting to focus on building some skirms. If we look at the resources, not going up anytime soon. His opponent Teal can go up probably relatively soon. Needs a little bit of food, but it shouldn't take him too long. Dropping a third archery range in preparation for those inevitable cav archers. I shouldn't say inevitable. They don't always get made, but it's pretty damn common. So we will probably see those soon. Blacksmith up for both players, getting some upgrades. For the moment, Teal pulling back, going to hang out in front of his own area. He's not closing in. He's not protecting his villagers that are closing in the area, but he is hanging back and sort of waiting to see what's up with the Gray player. Gray is up by a couple hundred points, which is interesting. Militarily, they are pretty much dead even. Villagers, they are dead even. It looks like Ezreal has just clicked up. Okay, so Ezreal is now up to castle, and we'll see when Gearforth, aka Rasic, goes up as well. For the moment, the Gray player here lagging a little bit behind, at least as far as clicking up to castle. And he will have his military in the front there, but he's equally met. You know, he has much more of a skirmisher army here, which is going to be just fine, but he's going to be fighting on a slight uphill, and he's really fighting very far from where he's reinforcing from, so I wouldn't expect a whole lot there. He's going to get this spear for free, pretty much, for free, but yeah, we are going to see Ezreal up very soon, going to be on triple archery ranges with a stable. So interesting game here from Teal. Did not build a stable or any scouts. That's usually the meta that we see. Went straight for the archers and seems to be doing a good job. Got some harassment with his Drush. The archers now are, they're holding their own. I don't like this villager though in the fight. He's going to take quite a few hits for free. Is he going to go down? Yeah, villager down there for Ezreal. And we have still a bit of a war in the front. That villager tanked quite a few spears there, or javelins, I suppose. But yeah, I don't want to lose a villager early in the game like this. That's not cool. Gearforth in Gray here. Rasic still coming forward with more army. He will be up 2 minutes behind his opponent, Ezreal, who seems to be taking this one over a little bit. Certainly is defending very well against the pressure that is on him during the early Castle Age. He's now in the Castle Age. Going to grab crossbow. Going to start pumping out a little bit of everything. We can see 2 skirms, an archer, and a cav archer coming. But crossbow upgrade will be in soon. And yeah, we'll see Ezreal with a bit of an advantage here. 2-minute advantage in the Castle Age. Unfortunately for his opponent, Gearforth, he was not able to really get a whole lot done. Did grab a Vil. That's not nothing. But in general, not able to get a whole lot done. It looks like Ezreal is maybe... Is this archer coming home? Is he just scouting? I think he's scouting around with that archer. I didn't know if he was patrolling him here to see if there was any action coming on that flank. But we'll see. We'll see what Ezreal does. Going to drop another TC. Going to build up that economy and push his villager advantage. At the moment, the villagers are neck and neck, but we will see Teal pull ahead here, I think, because he's up to castle a lot earlier. Anyway, coming forward with those crossbows and skirms, +2/+1 on those crossbows, and they should be able to get in and do some damage. Unfortunately, they're going to walk straight into an army of skirms, which for the moment is ready to run away. Not sure why Gray isn't taking that engagement. I think he has the numbers, but in general, he is not going to. Going to upgrade to Elite Skirm right off the bat, and Bodkin Arrow and Bowsaw. So we will see a beefier army here from Gray very soon, and he should be able to stop these crossbows. The problem is going to be the Cav Archers that follow. Cav Archers, who knew? Who knew that Teal would build Cav Archers? I think everybody probably knew. Everybody knows you're going to see some Cav Archers, right? Those beautiful, beautiful beasts. But yeah, you can see actually Ezreal is here, getting some scouting in with his skirms, grabbing a Vil there with 2 skirms. Must have been on low HP. Maybe not the greatest positioning of that villager for the Gray player. But yeah, I think Teal is actually stealing the show a little bit here. This is Crystal Balls. Crystal Balls, people. Trying to predict the future. Trying to predict who the next big pro is. We do see a knight in play and another coming, and one more after that. They should be pretty strong against all of these elite skirms. Should be able to cut quite a few of them down. University coming as well to grab the ballistics. That should be in very soon, and we see Palisades up to block that entire left flank. So Ezreal here in Teal is really starting to seemingly take this game over. Villager count in Teal's favor. Military count, he's a few behind, but his opponent has built really primarily skirms. So those skirms obviously going to be decent in defense against Cav Archers if they can trap them somewhere, but for the most part, we all know that I think we all know that Gray is a little bit behind here. His military composition is not ideal. A couple of knights in play there are going to be incredibly helpful. Bloodlines are in for Teal. Do we have bloodlines for Gray? No, we don't. Okay. So, University coming for Gray as well. We'll be able to grab ballistics very soon. But before he does, we're going to see an engagement. The Knights are in. They're taking a few shots here from the Cav Archers. They're going to tank a little bit of that damage, but it looks like a pretty good engagement for Teal. Seems to have the numbers here of archers. Definitely distracted those skirms long enough to make this a problem for his opponent. Seems to be running the Cav Archers away, though, so I guess he doesn't have the advantage. I guess he's going to run off of this and go poke and prod somewhere else. Yep, he's going to pull back. Why speculate? Why speculate, Killer B? Don't speculate. We will see Cav Archers v. Cav Archers. At the moment, military numbers are in Teal's favor. A couple of knights in play as well. Total villager count at the moment is +3 for Teal. We can see that Ezreal is on 2 TCs. His opponent in Gray is on 1 TC. So we'll see that villager advantage continue to grow as we move on through the game. So yeah, thanks for being here, guys. It's Wednesday night. I'm back in the mood. I'm back in the groove. Finally got back from vacation out in North Carolina. Who goes to North Carolina, you might say? The answer is me. Yeah, it was fun. So we see Bloodlines are now in for the Gray player. Ballistics coming for Ezreal, and he should be able to come back and engage whenever he feels like it. For the moment, it's a stalemate, so we'll fast forward a bit, but let's see who can see what between these two players. Looks like both players have pretty much equally scouted each other, neither scouting a whole lot of the map up in this region. Do either of them know about this gold pile? No, not at the moment. So there's a couple hidden gold piles still that neither player knows about. We're actually seeing the Gray player here pulling out to a bit of a lead. Let's actually, while we are in a bit of a lull, let's look at the APM. I think we can do that on this, can't we? Oh, I have to pull the graphs up, don't I? Let's see. Looking for actions per minute here to see how fast these guys are. Yeah, screw it. I will deal with that later. For the moment, we see that Teal is sort of poking and prodding around, seems to be sort of running around the map with that army, but not doing anything with it yet, not engaging. Looks like resources for Gray are pretty low for Teal as well. Total ranges, wow. Okay, 2 more coming, and 1, 2, 3, 4 already in play. So we will see 6 ranges from Teal. On the Gray side, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4 to me. So Gray, with a little bit smaller of an economy, a little bit bigger of a military, he's up by 1 at the moment militarily, is going to poke in through this palisade, but will eventually get trapped in there if he decides to go in, wisely choosing not to go in. That would have been a really, really bad, that would have been the end of the game, right? I think he would have got trapped in there and it would have been real ugly. But we continue to see those Cav archers sort of work their way around and try to be annoying. But here comes the engagement we've been waiting for. A couple of knights in play here to tank a few arrows early on for Teal. That's very useful because Teal has ballistics, so he's going to hit those running Gray Cav archers. And now we have a straight up fight, Cav archers v Cav archers. It looks like Teal has the numbers to me, but you never know. Not worth counting. These crossbows should certainly turn the tide. They are going to push Gray away. He's going to go finally up to this little hill, which is a nice little place for him to have engaged the entire time. And he's actually going to full-on run away. He's going to run all the way up and around the horn. Look at this, though. Ezreal sending a couple of crossbows around that side to... he was going to try to trap him, but I think it would have been GG to those crossbows. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see the Gray player pushing with another group of Cav archers. So the first group was enough to distract Ezreal. The second group is now trying to do some damage. Problem is they're actually getting cleaned up by reinforcements here from Teal, and even more reinforcements on the way from Ezreal. So really clean, good game early on here from Ezreal. For the moment, he is up. He's up to 3 TCs. His opponent in Gray will be on 3 as well. 3 TCs for each player. Villager counts dead even at the moment. And as we speak, there's really nothing much going on. Those Cav archers from Gray were not able to get in. In fact, they all got cut down, and we now see Ezreal with a 20 military advantage. He's actually going to, he's not going to increase that advantage here, but he's going to get some Cav archers for pretty cheap. Trading Cav archers for crossbows is awesome, and it looks like Teal is going to be able to do that. He's going to sacrifice this entire army, take down quite a few of Gray's Cav archers, and now we see the Gray player on 14 military. So Gear 4th year in Gray is in trouble. He's in trouble, people. Gonna have to make something happen. Not going to have the bigger military for quite some time, unless Teal starts suiciding some units. We shall see. So yeah, let's switch over to Ezreal's point of view. We can see that that army is huge. It's a huge army of Cav archers, sort of roaming around looking for somebody to harass, looking for somebody to love. They should be headed forward. We'll fast forward a bit until they get there. Let them run across the map at slightly increased speed. They're going to be crashing in against this area from Gray, which is, it's pretty meh. You know, this region is pretty well protected. He's going to make his opponent run through a little narrow channel there if he decides to send his Cav archers that way. Gray has some units on the front, but not enough to push Teal away, not even close. So he's going to have to figure something out there. For the moment, he's going to take that engagement. I guess the elite skirms there are making it probably economically valuable for him to take some trades. But I think Teal is going to be just fine here taking this fight. Should be able to push forward. We do hear a Siege Workshop in play. That's actually Ezreal's Siege Workshop that we heard, but we'll see another on the way. And Ezreal is up to Imperial Age. So Gray's going to have a couple of Mangonels in defense, I suppose, if he wants to. Not sure if that's the plan or not. For the moment, nothing queued up in the Siege Workshop. Teal's Cav archers are cleaning up Gray here a little bit slowly, but in general, they're going to get the job done. The elite skirms are slowly getting chopped away, and the Cav archers are now in full retreat. Let's see, villager-wise, we see Gray up by 5, but that's about to change because he's going to start losing some. Cav archers in play, grabbing 1 on the front by the gold. They can probably grab a few more on that wood line. Gray here needs to react and move his economy around. You can see Ezreal here has split his Cav archers into 2 groups. One group is harassing any reinforcements from the military buildings of Gray. The other group is over harassing the economy of Gray. Not terribly effectively. Unfortunately, they were kind of shooting that lumber camp. But that second group can certainly start roaming in and doing some damage anytime they please. But for the moment, it looks like reinforcements will be on their way in. Skirmishers coming. And it seems like Ezreal's starting to take this game over pretty handily, grabbing another villager there on the farm. We can see that Gray is now building elite skirms and garrisoning them, trying to build up enough to maybe pop them out and fight off some of this army, but he's losing villagers left and right. At the moment, he's now down 6 vills. His opponent will be to Imperial not much sooner, 10 seconds sooner. So no big deal. They are neck and neck. Problem here, though, is Gray is now out of gold on his main gold pile. Secondary gold is over on the side. That's relatively safe, but it's also relatively small. Going to be hard to fight a Cav Archer war without any gold. But for now, it's elite skirms, hoping to stop the bleeding here, but it seems like it's the beginning of the end for Gray. Do we see any forward buildings from Teal? At the moment, we do not. Kind of surprisingly. Surprised he's not bringing something forward. Maybe this is it? I don't know. Why speculate? I guess we're not going to find out. But it looks like those villagers are coming forward from Ezreal. Was getting close to having the stone to build a castle. Maybe was going to take over this hill. So a nice game there from the Teal player. GG. GG. So yeah, we kind of came in to see this player gear forth play. That was who I saw when I gazed into my crystal ball. But we did not see a win in game 1. Yeah, what are you going to do? Can't win every game. So yeah, what's up out there? What up, people? Looks like we have, we have Salty. Salty as a moderator in the channel today. So 6 to 100. So somebody who's on the precipice of, taking over, but has played 300 games, has a 3-year-old or greater account, is not a known Smurf, and has gained 50 points since February. When I put in these parameters and I started to look at who fits them, I found 3 people. One is Nero. So congratulations to Nero for being a badass. Nero is on the up and up. Has gained 95 points, I believe it was, since February. That's really impressive. Congratulations. The parameters were rated 26 to 100, so somebody who's on the precipice of, taking over, but has played 300 games, has a 3-year-old or greater account, is not a known Smurf, and has gained 50 points since February. When I put in these parameters and I started to look at who fits them, I found 3 people. One is Nero. So congratulations to Nero for being a badass. Nero is on the up and up. Has gained 95 points, I believe it was, since February. That's really impressive. Congratulations. So yeah, Nero was one of the players. Another was this player, MCL Rasic. It could be a Smurf. I did my best to try to eliminate any Smurfs from my analysis. But yeah, you can see Rasic's graph there. It went from 1800 to above 2K in 3 months. It's really impressive. Actually, if you take away the periods of inactivity, really went from 1800. March, sometime in mid-March. I can't really read the text. Very impressive growth there. Very beautiful. So yeah, so I figured I'd watch some games from Rasic. Who is at your back? Oh, you're on the camera, Chow Lucy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's Chow Lucy CNB. Yeah, actually, you're showing your whole butt to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you want some help?
I will switch position.
No, it's fine. I'm sure it's going to increase our ratings, if anything. Yep, that is Chow Lucy in the in the Mickey Mouse pajamas. Oh man.
Stop making fun of my favorite pajamas.
I'm not making fun of you. I think it's very funny. Very funny. So yeah, watching some Rasic games, working our way through. So yeah, guys, I'm going to jump into game number 2. Yeah, looking into the crystal balls today. Crystal balls. Oh, by the way, I do love saying balls. By the way, if you want to add your picture to the background of our normal overlay for our out-of-game, feel free to send an email to killer.b@gmail.aoc@gmail. Send me a picture. Send me what your Twitch name is, and we'll add you here. We got a bunch of people who have contributed pictures over the weeks, over the months, I suppose, and maybe you want to be there too. Chow Lucy just hanging out behind me. So yeah, we have another game between MCL Rasic and Ezreal here. I'm going to jump into game 2. Very nice game there from Ezreal, who is actually also one of the 3 players who has been basically on the up and up. It was Nero, it was Ezreal, and it was Rasic. So really cool to see those guys working their way up. Can't believe how it's just a small world. You put in some parameters, you do an unbiased analysis, and you find your buddy Nero. How cool is that? So yeah, jumping into game number 2 here. This is going to be another Huns War on Arabia. That is just fine by me. Haven't actually watched a whole lot of these in the channel lately. So it's actually a change of pace, even though it's the most common type of game we see on AOC. Yeah, so we are going to see Gearforth or Rasic here again in gray. Sorry, I did not update the scoreboard, but I will fix it after this one. We saw game 1 go to Ezreal, and the scoreboard will reflect that soon. But yeah, Gearforth in gray is going to start off as Huns. He is going to be on the right side of the screen again, I suppose. Hopefully this isn't the exact same game. Nope, looks different to me. Again, going to be able to close down the left flank pretty easily. Has a nice wood line there. Has a huge wood line to the right. Can probably close in that entire side. The front is a little bit open. He'd have to certainly walk a long way out to close it in. But I think he can wall toward the TC in a couple of spots, and he's going to be just totally safe. One thing that will be annoying is maybe protecting this gold. We'll see. If he gets annoyed by some archers or towers on this hill, that gold could be really, really hard for him to take. But in general, a pretty decent map. Certainly pretty closed in. Ezreal on the other side is playing as teal as well, or is playing in teal and is also Huns. The player here, Ezreal, is going to have an interesting gold position on the front on top of a little hill. That is going to be interesting. Might be a little bit annoying. Secondary gold is on the front as well. Berries on the front also. Food off to the back to the side. You can close that in if he wants to. Excuse me, burping into the mic. How about that? But yeah, in general, not the greatest map here for teal. Going to be relatively open. Is everything okay, Chow Lucy? Okay. Chow Lucy is okay. Do you want to come back and show the channel your butt? No? Okay. We couldn't actually see your butt. I was just kidding. Yeah, so for the moment, both players sort of figuring out what's going on their side. So I suppose we can speed this one up a bit. Pump this one up a notch. Took the hit that I was given, and I bumped again, and I bumped again. Okay, we're going to see Ezreal finding, not Ezreal, we're going to see Gearforth here finding his sheep, doing some sheep scouting, finding his sheep with those, grabbing his boar, pretty normal Dark Age start. 3 villagers on wood again here for gray. We see 3 villagers on wood and a 4th on the way for teal. So interesting. I wonder if we'll see any early aggression here from teal. Those weren't the first 4 villagers, but 4 villagers relatively early on. Should have the wood to get something done if he wants to. Did Drush in the previous game, so maybe we'll see it again. We shall see. Yeah, it looks like Gearforth has found his other boar. He should be just fine. Grabbing sheep. Everything is good in the hood, and he can now come forward and check out his opponent. We'll see Teal come forward as well. He's grabbing a couple more sheep here. I don't know if that's all of them. Let's see. Are there more sheep? It looks like there may not be more sheep. I think he's got them all. Okay, so both players in good shape, finding their sheep, heading forward. You can see Gray here is starting to work toward the right side of the map. He's eventually going to swoop around and see what's up in Teal's neighborhood. Unfortunately, last game he ran straight toward the TC. Hopefully this game he will not run straight toward the TC. He is the Crystal Ball winner. We don't want the Crystal Ball winner to be a scout loser. But yeah, anyway, looting in his boar, building up the mill. Pretty normal Dark Age here. We will work through it at 60% speed until the craziness begins. Yeah, meanwhile, let's see what's going on with Ezreal. Starting to accumulate a little bit of wood. He is sending a villager out to grab some gold, so we will see that extra 10 gold. Probably going to be able to, get loom and build 3 militia. Certainly has that option. We'll see if he takes it. Sending another villager over to wood, and yeah, soon that barracks can come up, and there it is. So multitasking with this villager, he's going to grab the gold and build the barracks. What's interesting is whether the gray player here scouts out that barracks early on. For the moment, he will not see it. He's going to head straight toward this wood line, or somewhat straight toward this wood line. Unfortunately for gray, he's not going to find it. That would be a really nice place to harass. Really unfortunate map for teal. Not a very good, no good wood lines. This wood line is like a mile away from his TC. Just not in a pretty place. But yeah, gray is also going to miss the barracks. So he's not going to know about the drush. But maybe it's not so surprising after game one. We'll see. We'll see. You should be able to see the big jump in score from teal here in just a second. Let's see, that first militia is done. Once those 3 are out, he should be a little bit ahead. And yeah, we will look for that. Sometimes you know the drush is coming, right? Because of the score. Anyway, gray still building up his eco at the moment on 21 vils, is loomed up, so should be pretty strong against the drush. We see that Ezreal is starting to build that third militia, while gray has clicked up to the feudal age. Has gray found that barracks? Still has not. Just an inch away from it, but has found the front gold piles and will continue to scout around his opponent's side. So yeah, teal is going to catch gray unaware here. Ezreal could snatch another game, but look at the huge score difference. I think that's a pretty good indicator that your opponent is coming with some aggression. We will see a barracks up on the front. I don't think teal's going to be there in time to deny it. This wood line is pretty beefy. There's some villagers here. They should be able to handle the drush. It's just a matter of how effective that drush can be. Ezreal has clicked up to feudal age again on 24 vils. I think last game it was 25. So similar strategy here from Ezreal. 3 militia drush, but not a drush fast castle. Didn't wall behind his drush last game. This game he won't be walling behind his drush either. Quick walling again from gray. He did very nice quick walling last game. This game not quite as good. He's just a half second too late. This villager is going to get blocked, and these 3 villagers are going to have to straight up take that fight versus the militia. Gonna push them out, and now he can quick wall. Unfortunate move there from teal. He actually he retreated just a little bit too far, and now he's going to have to run around the horn. Maybe some more quick walling from those villagers of gray. Yes, we will see more quick walling. And now teal is kind of screwed. He's going to have to run around toward this TC or all the way around this wood line. So nice quick walling, nice reaction from teal up to feudal age already, grabbing double bit axe and horse collar right off the bat, as you should, I suppose. He will have an archery range and 3 villagers grabbing gold. So we can see some archers out of him, and he should be able to beat back this drush. That drush still overworking on the palisade, trying to be as annoying as possible. And look at this, behind that drush we will see towers. So Ezreal now moving in with villagers to drop a tower on this hill. It's a nice spot. Nice spot for a tower. Yep, he's going to drop it there. I think it's going to be perfectly well within range of this gold pile, and he's going to push his opponent away. It looks like a little bit of scout fighting in the back. That is won by Gearforth, which is very nice for him. His initial scout on 2 HP, but he can still reveal the map. Secondary gold is way out here in no man's land. So a little bit unfortunate there for gray. Not unfortunate, but well played, I should say, by teal. He's going to have men-at-arms. He's going to have towers up. And he's going to have a pretty powerful forward here. He's going to certainly starve his opponent of some gold here in the early feudal age. And that's nice because his opponent, gray here, Gearforth, went for the archery range right away. He's going to build some archers, but in the end he's going to be relegated to skirmishers. Skirms will be okay. I mean, you know, when you're getting forwarded, I'm sure, you know, they work fine, but it's not ideal to lose your gold that quickly, of course. Yeah, so what do we see for villager count? At the moment, it is neck and neck on 27, 5 military for both players. Gray is still sort of scouting around in teal's area, trying to figure out what he can learn. On the other side, we see teal has come forward. He's grabbing stone with 4 vils. We look at his stone count. We can see, ooh, Gray giving his scout away again, running it straight toward the TC. So not the ideal use of that scout, but yeah, what are you going to do? Meanwhile, on the other side, we see an engagement between those archers and skirmisher mix and those men-at-arms. So for the moment, teal has an archer in play. He's going to start doing some harassment. Very nice little play there from teal. Sneaking one archer in to annoy while his men-at-arms walk all the way around the horn. Teal is ready to build another tower. I can see the look in those villagers' eyes. Ezreal has already dropped it. Very aggressive tower. He's going to creep right in, and he's going to bracket that gold. Tower on each side of it. Very nice tower location here from Teal, who is stealing the show once again. Stole the show in Game 1, and he looks to be stealing the show here in Game 2. Men-at-Arms walking all the way around the horn. Unfortunately, Gray did not wall this in. Just a couple of palisades there would have slowed that army down quite a lot, but he is going to lose his berries for the moment. Fortunately, he has some archers in play who can maybe settle even the score. Quick defensive tower here from Gray, and he's also doing very nicely with the skirms and archers to slow down the tower building of his opponent Teal. His tower is going to go up first, and Teal's tower is not going to go up at all. Is he going to lose this villager? She is awfully low. Nope, she's going to make it. So really nice job denying that tower by Gray. Playing a really nice game against that forward. That tower would have been very annoying, would have started to take away farmland here on the front, and could have facilitated a further tower creep across the map. Stable coming up on the back for Gray. I like that as well. Might as well put it in a place where it's not completely annoyed by towers right off the bat. We can see that Teal is gone with archers. They are +1. You can see that Gray is starting to transition away from archers, has not upgraded his. He is going to build a stable and probably a couple of scouts here. Needs to win back his gold before he can mix in any more archers. Okay, what's going on back at home for Teal? Equal villager count still here. Grabbing gold happily on the front. That ugly hill gold that we talked about early in the game is safe because of the tower rush, so nice little early aggression from Teal. He's actually trying to work his way around to the side of Gray's area. Gonna knock on this palisade. Should be able to take it down pretty quickly. We can see that Teal's gonna reinforce over there and try to fight that off with his skirms. He's now building a clandestine mining camp. There you go. If you're playing the Killer Bee drinking game, I said the word clandestine. So you do now have to drink. Yeah, that mining camp on the front is sort of out in no man's land. It's very, very, what's the word? It's very, oh man, where are my words today? It's out there. It's weak. It's dangerous. Damn, I wish I knew what word I was looking for. But anyway, those villagers will start taking gold over there. They may be under some pressure relatively soon, but at least for now, Ezreal has moved all the way around the side with his archers. He's actually going to drop a tower here. Not going to be terribly effective because a quick secondary wall here from Gray is going to keep his opponent out. So, a couple of nice games here from Ezreal. This game, he decided to come forward and be aggressive because of his, well, really because of his crappy gold location. I think that's probably his reasoning. And, you know, horrible wood line over here. Not very fun of a wood line, in my humble opinion. But in the end, it looks like, well, not in the end, but at least so far, it looks like Teal's doing just a fine job to take over map control, keep his opponent on his back foot, and stop his area from being harassed. But the tide may change soon. We see quite a few skirms here from the Gray player. We also see 4 scouts. Is one of those the initial scout? No, it isn't, because he ran it into the TC, unfortunately. Gray has closed down that right side with some palisades, which is a beautiful play. He's actually running his scouts around that side. Maybe he's paranoid that Ezreal is somewhere over there building a tower. Looks like he's gonna find nothing there and probably be very happy with finding nothing. On the other side, though, those skirms could be very useful because the archers are working their way in. They do have to run within range of the TC, taking a couple of free arrow fires there. We're going to see 2 of them go down. They will grab a Vill on the farm, or they did grab a Vill on the farm, but may not get a whole lot more done because there are skirmishers here now to clean them up, and maybe these scouts will come back as well. Let's see. I'm hearing death. I'm hearing dying villagers, I believe is what I'm hearing. Still 7 archers in play here for Teal, but this is I don't like this for Teal at all. He's going to lose all of this army. Grabbing Vills and annoying Vills, but in the end, I think he's going to lose it for not a whole lot, and I think he's going to get hit by some scouts. I think he's going to be pretty vulnerable. Villager count at the moment is actually +2 for Gray. So the Gray player, although losing some Vills there, is going to be out ahead in the villager count. He's going to have some scouts. Sending those scouts forward. They do have a defensive upgrade already. Should be able to run in and do some damage. They're going to be supported by skirms and an archer. So yeah, whew, crystal balls tonight. Yeah, man, out of breath. Pumping out a lot of words per minute here. Yep, hopefully you guys are out there having fun. Happy Wednesday to y'all. From the bottom of my heart. Why do people say that? From the bottom of my heart. Is the bottom of the heart a better place in some way? Those scouts are going to run through with relatively low damage, but that clandestine mining camp could be in a whole lot of trouble here relatively soon. Looks like for the moment Teal has his focus on the scouts, I suppose as he should, because they're awfully massed up, and that one armor upgrade is actually a huge difference for him. They are going to cut up that whole army from Teal, and you can actually see Gray is not sending all of his scouts toward that. He's only going to send 4 of them. He's going to send the rest forward, along with the skirmisher and archer mix, to hit his opponent where it hurts. Teal is really invested in this forward, has dropped a couple of towers, and I think in the end that is going to be, it may not be something that he can continue to support. We'll see what Teal can get done on the other side. There is a spear here in defense and a tower in defense, but those skirms can take down the spear. A couple more scouts coming from Ezreal, so he's not ready to call it quits. He's going to certainly fight this off. But from the moment, his gold is going to be annoyed and probably useless. Behind by 2 on the villager count. Military counts are very similar. So in general, pretty good, clean game here early from both players. Ezreal played a really good game early. I didn't like the archers he threw away over here, but in the end, I think he's in an okay spot. He's at least been able to push Gray back to his area. Gray is now happily taking gold over at this mining camp, which is no longer clandestine, because look at all the damn scouts over here. My lord, and they are now bloodlined, which is obviously something you should do when you have this many scouts. Very huge pack of scouts there. Camped on the hill is Teal, waiting for the Gray player to come over, trying to hold on to, clinging to that hill, you could say. Trying to hold on to his area, trying to hold on to his forward. Has invested quite a lot in it, and it would be a shame at this time to see Ezreal lose it. Well, be a shame for Ezreal. Huge palisade wall here across toward the TC. Pretty damn weak, you know. A couple of quick hits on that palisade and his opponent's going to be through, but it is the best he can do for now, so that is what we're going to see from Ezreal. Over on the other side, Gearforth, aka Rasik, is defending pretty well, defending a forward. For the moment, he has massed up quite a few scouts, is going to hit Castle Age, probably upgrade them, I would assume, since he has so many that are alive and in play, and maybe go forward and see what he can get done with them. Still, arrow fire, one little arrow at a time from the watchtowers. Still working their way toward maybe someday killing something. Meanwhile, Bloodlines also in play for Ezreal. If we look at the buildings, Ezreal has 2 stables on his side, and he has 2 archery ranges forward. Both of those forward archery ranges are a bit in peril. On the other side, we see triple stable for Gearforth. So he is committed to the cavalry. What up, Ice Cream? Welcome. Hey, TH, what up? What up, guys? Glad to have you with me. We are watching some new and interesting players today. Not new, I mean, you can't be 2K and new, but new to me. You know, I'm kind of a new streamer. I know a lot of people, but not everybody. What up, Agnes? Biotechnology, yes indeed. Sounds cool, doesn't it? But it's really not very crazy. +1/+1 on the archers on the front there. +1 in defense, and +1 damage for the Gray player. Couple of knights in play now for Teal. Gonna have to try to defend what is going to be a massive scout rush. He's actually upgrading to light cavalry. That's why Teal is not taking this this fight just yet. Oh, you're a molecular biologist. That's probably a better description of my job than biotech. Where do you live, Agnes? What do you do? Tell me about yourself. But yeah, for the moment, it looks like the Gray player here is going to take this fight, and he's probably going to be very happy with the result. Those light cav are pretty beefy, and there's quite a few of them. They're going to be just fine. He's sending the other half of his army forward. Meanwhile, Teal is trying desperately to reinforce this. If this forward goes down, it's probably GG. So he's trying to hold on to it. He's actually not going to go and save that forward, though. He's going to try to hit the gold, which is actually much smarter. He is smarter than Killer Bee, I'll tell you that. This is the secondary gold pile here for Gray, and it will soon be in peril, at least for the moment, from these knights. I don't think there's quite enough of them there for Teal to hold on, but on the other side we see Gray has found that crazy, crappy lumber camp area. Teal was trying to drop a TC, but look at all of the villagers he's losing. Very slow reaction, but there's really no point in reacting at this point, right? All of those villagers are going to go down to that many light cav. He does need to delete this TC and not take the... He needs to delete this TC. Delete the TC, Ezreal. Ezreal. Delete the TC. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he deleted it. I think he just lost the TC. I should have been watching his resources. Resources are pretty darn low. So I think he unfortunately lost quite a bit. He lost probably too much there to really come back. For the moment, though, going to keep fighting this one out. The score for the moment is plus 800 or 900, I suppose, for Gear 4th, who is happily chugging along 6 villagers ahead. Military units are plus 14 in his favor. Soon he'll be taking away his opponent's gold pile here, which is very important. He's already taken away his primary wood line to the side. Sending those light cav in. Not a whole lot here to harass because of the way Teal has walled it, but at least he's continuing to annoy. What's the big problem is here on the front. Teal has lost his gold. He has lost his momentum, but, he's still hanging in. Ezreal played a really good game in Game 1, got the win. Here in Game 2, he looks to be in peril, but he's going to continue to fight it out. If he could have gotten some harassment on this gold, it might have been worth it for him to stick in this game a little longer. If he can clean up the offensive here from Gear 4th, he could also stick in the game a little longer, but he is starting to fall way behind. 12 villagers behind at the moment, having 20 idols, and it seems like it is going to be the beginning of the end or the end of the end. PhD student from Argentina. Structural bioinformatics. Ooh, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk. That's above my head. You're doing cooler stuff than me, but I know what you're saying. I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's cool. Yeah, so we continue to see Gray here with some aggression. He has cleaned up everything back on his side. He's not even over cleaning up this forward. He just doesn't care. This tower doesn't even bother him, I guess. He's going to continue to mine this gold a little bit inefficiently, and it's going to be gone very soon. And Gear 4th here is saying, GG, man. Gray saying GG, asking his opponent to resign, and in the end we will see Teal resign here. You can see that Teal was way behind. I can't blame him for not GGing. I mean, his opponent was just about out of gold, but he's just so far behind on the villager count. Doesn't really have anything to kill the army here from Gear 4th, aka Rasic, and we will see this series tied 1-1, and I will update the scoreboard. So there you have it. There's game 2. We got one more from this set, and then we'll call it the end of the Crystal Ball stream. Crystal Balls. Yeah, so let me close this down real quick, and we can jump back into the Twitch chat and see what's going on. Let's see. Let's put this onto Crystal Balls. So yeah, let's see. Agnes is a molecular biologist, PhD student, structural bioinformatics. Damn, dude. Structural bioinformatics. Interesting. Yep, I don't know if I'd call myself a molecular biologist. I think that's pretty close. I'm a geneticist. I work in genetics, genetically modify organisms and stuff. It's cool. It's cool. Probably not cool to most people, but maybe it's cool to Agnes. But yeah. So, since there's a couple people here who maybe didn't hear the earlier part of this, this stream is called Crystal Balls #1. So, today I was at work. I was screwing around. I decided that I was going to see if I could predict the future. Granted, this is a very... I have a big ego, I suppose, presuming that I can predict the future just based on 5 parameters. But my thought was, if I can find some players who are not, Slam, Yo, MBL, who are not 2.3K rated, who are trending upward, maybe I could anticipate who the next big thing is going to be in AOC. So I did this. The parameters were, we were looking for a 1v1 RM player, rated between 26 and 100. Lots of names you'd recognize between 26 and 100. These are all pro players. Minimum of 300 games played, a 3-year-old or greater account, and not somebody Smurf. I think a lot of MBL Smurfs are on this list. So I tried to eliminate them. really by the ones that I know, and also by making sure that the account was pretty old, making sure that they had played some games, and making sure that they were not born in 1969. That seems to be a very common Smurf year. And we were looking for somebody who's gained 50 points or more since February. We came up with 3 people. Number 1 out of that group was Rasic, who gained 205 points. You can see that on the graph there to the right of your screen. I can see it if I look this way, but it's not really over there. Anyway, the other players from this group were Donovan, plus 95 points. Congratulations. And Ezreal, who we've been watching just now. Ezreal is plus 100 points in the last 3 months. So really big ups to those guys. They are the only 3 players who came out of all of those 75 players that fit all of these parameters. And they are, maybe they're the players who are going to be 2.3K rated, just a few shakes of a lamb's tail from now. Hopefully, that'd be really cool. Hopefully we see Nero up there. Maybe we'll see Rasic. Maybe we're seeing the future. But yeah, really impressed. Went from 1,800 to 2K in lickety split. Speaking of lickety split, banana split for will work for ice cream. Oh, ice cream took off. But anyway, much love to ice cream. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Love that guy. Meanwhile, we have one more game from this series. And then I will probably, I'll call it a night. I don't know. Unless there's something else to watch. I don't think there is at the moment. We'll see what's going on live, I suppose, as well. But yeah, let's jump on into game number 3. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so game number 3 between Rasic and Ezreal. Rasic playing here as Gearforth. Oh, I promised to update the scoreboard, which I will do. I'm going to get it right this time. It is now 1-1 between two out of the 3 players who are the names that I saw when I looked into my crystal ball.
Oh,
hey, thanks for the follow. Who was it? Ourselves to this. Thanks for the follow. Person, dude, lady. I don't know your gender, but I appreciate you following me. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to jump in the chat. Everybody here is really friendly, except for me. I'm really mean. No, hopefully I'm cool too. So we have a 1-1 score. We have a new follower. So let's jump into game number 3. Crystal balls tonight. Crystal balls. Okay. Game number 3. A Huns War on Arabia. We did a lot of these in the first month of the channel. We really didn't do very many at all. Hey man, I really enjoy your commentary, and the stream is nice and relaxing. Thank you. Thank you, TH. Thin AOE, is that the name? And the oh yeah. Ooh. All right, man. Glad you're, or all right, person. I always assume everybody's a guy playing AOC, which is not cool.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the comments quite a lot. I appreciate the follow as well. Feel free to send along a picture of yourself. Become part of the community. I'll put an overlay up later. But killer.b.aoc. I love him too. Wow, you guys are flattering me. Anyway, so I do appreciate the love in the stream, but yeah, let me get cranking on this game. So another Huns War here. We're going to see Ezreal versus Gearforth. Gearforth is Rasic. These are 2 of the 3 players who are trending most upward. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the follow. These are 2 of the players who are trending most upward in the last 3 months. The other player who is not playing in this game right now is Nero. It's Donovan. Assuming makes a blank out of you and me, killer. Indeed it does. So yeah, another Huns War here. We haven't been watching these a lot. Last month I don't think we watched all that many 1v1 Huns Wars. So this is cool. This is cool. We're not going to do it every day, but at least today we're watching some Huns Wars. We can see Teal here, Ezreal, who has been playing really strong games, is going to have a nice opportunity to finally close in at least one of his flanks. He has not really walled a whole lot in the early game on either of the first 2 games. We'll have an ugly right flank, which is on a huge downhill slope. That's going to be annoying for him. Gold and berries on the back. And I would just wonder if he can wall toward this TC. This is a bit of a tricky one. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that. Fortunately, he is the pro, and I don't have to make any of the hard decisions. Meanwhile, Red, Gear 4th, aka Rasik, is going to be Huns as well. Going to have some gold on the back, berries to the front, secondary gold way, way out to the front. This wood line is suspect at best, but it's going to be good enough. In the end, he will be able to close down that left flank. Should probably be able to close down some of the right, but his TC is probably going to be out in the open. Maybe he can wall toward it as well. Just seeing what's going on in the chat. Nero is always lurking. Yeah, Nero's awesome. Love Nero. That's weird. This channel should have more viewers. Well, hey man, I'm with you. No, we're working our way through a new month. I took about almost 2 weeks without barely streaming at all. So we need to get our momentum back. We are going to see Ezreal again with 4 villagers on wood. We've seen him drush in the 2 games thus far from this set. His channel is still growing. Yeah, I think it is. Well, we just got 2 new followers, so we are officially growing. So we've seen Teal drush twice in the first 2 games, maybe drushing here in game 3. We've seen the red player not drush in those games. We've seen red actually wall up a little bit, drop an early stable, and go scouts for the most part. Also, he has a YouTube for AOC Games. Oh wow, Salty playing the role of a professional moderator. Thanks, Salty, for disseminating the information. Appreciate it, dude. But yeah, we are going to work our way through this one. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I assume we're going to see about 21, 22 population up for the red player, probably 22 pop. And we'll probably see Teal do another drush if he decides to. Last time I think he drushed and went up on 25 vils, I believe was the number. But why predict the future? The future will soon be the present. We will just watch and wait and learn. Ezreal is scouting forward. The red player has already gone forward and found where his opponent is, but Teal is going to have an opportunity to get a lot more information than his opponent has. Felt like I should do something every once in a while. Oh, you do know Rasik. Oh man. Ourselves to this. You got to give me Rasik's email, or maybe I'll just shoot him a message. I'm assuming it's a guy. Most of the top players are guys. Sorry if that's sexist of me to assume, but yeah, if you weren't here just a minute ago, I was saying that I just sort of went through some crystal ball parameters to try to find who was the trending new hot player. And the number 1 players who came out were Rasik, Ezreal, and Nero. And I thought that was really cool. But I'll show you the parameters after. Until then, we'll watch through this game. We can see that red here is pushing some deer. Ezreal has done some really nice scouting, has found both the primary gold pile and the secondary gold pile of his opponent. Ezreal didn't find the berries, but did he find the wood line? Yes, he did. Okay. So Ezreal's going to know exactly where to hit with his drush. He is actually going to wall this game behind his drush. The last 2 games he has drushed without walling really behind it. This game he's going to be fully walled in by the time his drush gets forward. That to me suggests that it should be a drush fast castle. Yeah, Salty, great question. Maybe ourselves could tell us. No, he was always Rasik. Ah, booyah. Maybe my parameters actually worked. I tried to find people who had played a lot of games and had an account for a long time. And gladly, I think we found someone who isn't a Smurf. Beautiful. Yeah, so that drush is coming forward. Ezreal has not been discovered yet. I think, unfortunately for red here, he walked right past that drush. We do see Loom coming in for Ezreal. Do we have Loom for the red player? Yes, we do. Feudal Age on the way for red. Ezreal's going to be about a full minute behind. He's going to be on 24 vils. I believe that's close to what he was last time. So this is not a drush fast castle, I suppose. I suppose I was totally wrong about that. Nice quick walling once again from red. He is a very good quick waller. One unfortunate thing is, it's not unfortunate. He's going to be fine. He's within range of the TC, so that barracks will go up. More nice quick walling here from Rasik. Very nice little play from him. Like his quick walling. He's very good at quick walling. Ezreal, who has drushed 3 times in a row in this particular game, seems to not be in a great position to drush. I don't think this is going to be the most effective drush, but we'll see. Looks like he's pretty much walled out of both wood lines. Yeah, he can continue to harass, but I don't think he's going to get anything done before this stable is up. 4 villagers quickly pounding that out. Double bit axe coming right off the bat. What up, Hardy? Welcome, Hardy. Hardy is an OG to the channel. Welcome. yeah, so we will see. For the moment, Red's going to run off of this, but the Drush has done really nothing to idle any villagers. MCL got a few 19 and 2Ks around. Yeah, MCL. How about that? Yeah, so for the moment, the Drush is still trying to do some harassment. Throwing away a lot of HP on that scout is Ezreal in this game. Unfortunately, he's going to have to run off of that, and it looks like he's going to be just fine. I think Rasik's in good shape here. Rasik being the red player, for those of you who just joined us. This account is his first 2K. That's awesome. That is exactly what we were trying to discover with our crystal ball. We discovered a player who is 2K, who is newly 2K, and who's really on a huge upward trend. So go get him, Gearforth, aka Rasik. Go get him. Ezreal as well, and Nero. I mean, just because this one player had a slightly larger ratings gain this month doesn't mean that you shouldn't be giving huge kudos to both Nero and Ezreal, who also gained about 100 points each on their rating in the past couple months. Let's see. Ezreal is known as Cloud from Taiwan. Ah, very nice. I suppose that the types of Smurfs that I wanted to eliminate were the Smurfs of the very tippy-top players. You know, those like top maybe 5 or 10 guys who, like MBL has just so many Smurfs. And I didn't want to like try to get all hyped about this new player. I'm going to see what this new player does. And I was really worried that it would end up being MBL in the end. Not the POC Cloud from HK. Ah, ourselves to this. Dropping knowledge. Thank you very much for that. That is really nice. Really nice addition to the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, I do know the other Cloud as well. Teal trying to get some walls up here. He is going to get the job done. He's going to push away Red here with some spears. So for the moment, Rasik is going to be out, and he's actually, yeah, he has an avenue, so he can run those scouts around and should be just fine. So 3 early scouts here from the red player. He has found out that his opponent is walling at least one flank, and he will probably be completely walled in soon. Good night, Hardy. Just so you know, I grabbed a graphics card at your recommendation, and I love it. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Hardy's the man. Hardy's been here pretty much since day one, giving me tips and tricks. So thanks to Hardy. Sleep well, my friend. Sleep well, sweet prince. Anyway, Red is going to run back across the map. Danka. Oh, I don't know. Running back across the map here is Red. He is going to, I think he probably knows that his opponent's walled in at this point. I think he probably can deduce that. He knows where the wood line is. He knows at least where some of the palisades are, and he's decided to head home and protect his area. Pretty nice move here from Rasik. I think in the end it's going to be a little bit tricky for him to close his map in. And yeah, why not play a little defensively? Bleed Purple. AIS, welcome. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful heart. I didn't know you could make that by just typing Bleed Purple. Beautiful. Looks like Red is going to close in his flank by building buildings on this side. That should stop any sneak attacks from around the corner from maybe some Cav Archers later in this game. But instead of speculating, let's watch what's actually happening. We see skirmishers here are in play. We've got a couple scouts as well trying to fight this off. Unfortunately, the scouts, one of them taking quite a bit of damage from a spear and going down. In the end, those scouts will prevail, and it looks like they're going to come forward with some skirms behind them. Archery range coming. 3 villagers going to be building that for the red player. Actually in an interesting spot. It's kind of out in no man's land. I didn't know. I thought he might use buildings to build structure across the front, but he's going to put one out there kind of a little bit aggressively. Interesting. Meanwhile, though, Teal is going to walk all the way back across the map. He's going to have +1 damage on those archers. As far as Ezreal goes, Ezreal's gone archers, and I think all 3 of the games so far. I think he's gone Drush to archers in all 3 games. So interesting little strategy there from Ezreal. Not necessarily the meta that we might have expected. You usually see the fast scouts, the decent castle time, transition to archers, Cav Archers, pretty boring regular meta. In this case, we're seeing Ezreal maybe breaking the trend a little. But anyway, Ezreal coming forward has quite a few archers. Should be able to... Oh, he's going to walk right past that scout. Not patrolling, so he's not going to get the kill. And his opponent is going to get a little bit more map reveal. And that's actually important because Gearforth, a.k.a. Rasic, doesn't know about these walls yet. He's probably assumed that his opponent is fully walled in. But it is nice to actually see what those walls look like. You can see he's going to be able to... Oh, he's going to run right through. There's a hole in the wall. And I wonder if Teal saw him do that. He tried to quickly run in and run out, and he's trying to walk away like nothing happened. He's trying to break the wrist and walk away, and look at this. Ezreal doesn't know. Ezreal doesn't know. Don't tell Ezreal. It's going to be a problem for Ezreal if and when Rasic comes forward. But for right now, it's actually Rasic who's in some trouble. Those archers are sneaking through into his backyard. The problem is that this wood line is going to be in a real ugly shape. Couple vills going down. He's responding pretty quickly with skirms, should be able to fight this off. But man, this hole, there's a hole in the wall. Very interesting to see that hole. Nonetheless, for the moment, we are going to see Teal sort of pushing around. Sanity, there's always leaks on wall. Welcome, Sanity. Sanity, 99%. You've got me beat by a solid 40% Sanity. I wonder if we'll see some quick walling here from the red player to block those in. We will. Very nice strategy. The hole in the wall. Yes, indeed. Again, nice quick walling from red. He's done a very nice job all through the games, Rasic, with that quick walling. He's going to trap those archers in, and he's going to probably pick quite a few of them for quite cheap. Even if he loses this fight on the hill, obviously you want to be fighting skirms versus archers at all times. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we see archers coming forward with a couple of scouts in tow, with a scout in tow. Those archers are +1 and should be able to work their way through the hole in the wall. Look at this. They're going to walk right in the front door. Ezreal is not going to be happy at all about that. There's always a damn hole in the wall. Unfortunately, Ezreal's going to be in really bad shape here because his army just got cleaned up on the other side. At the moment, he has 2 military units. There was one of them. Here is the second. And now Ezreal is basically naked. Naked and afraid, unfortunately. That one little hole in the wall. I mean, granted, this is a pretty decent-sized army. They would have worked through a palisade relatively quickly, but it just sucks to get caught unaware like that. If they had been hitting this palisade, Ezreal could have built a secondary wall. He could have tried to do something, but in the end, he's going to close off that last little hole, and he's going to deal with the damage that's coming in. Nice little secondary wall to protect his own gold. Ezreal with that nice back gold, at least for the moment, is relatively safe. The red player here is going to bust down that wall. Or is he? No, he's not. He's going to walk around. He's actually walking within range of the TC a bit here, but there's not enough villagers garrison to really put out too much damage. Unfortunately, they were attacking the scout, so pretty nice little play there from Rasic. Maybe intentionally drawing the arrow fire with his scout, gets in the back, takes his opponent's gold away, and I would not be surprised at all if he just camps these archers right here. I don't see any reason for him, after grabbing a few vills, to leave this area. Well, I do see 2 reasons. They're called knights. So knights are on the way here from Teal, both players in the Castle Age, and I think Teal will be able to clean this all up with his knights. But there was a hole in the wall. Ezreal should delete those farms and build something on top of it just to block the way through. You mean here? Yeah, absolutely could have done that. In the end, he's going to be fine in the end, but I agree. He certainly could have blocked those in. Ezreal he's going to try to recover. He had that hole in the wall. That's really unfortunate, but now he has a second TC. If we look on the side of the red player, we see 1 TC, we see 3 archery ranges, and we see cav archers coming out. We also see archers and skirms mixed in. Too much idle time because of the archers. Gold income is solo. Yes, absolutely. That is a really tough... That hole in the wall, man. There's always a damn hole. But, you know, don't sleep on Ezreal. Ezreal's a really good player. I say that with a small sample size. I haven't seen a ton of games from this player, but this is a strong player. You're going to be seeing more of this player in our channel. Very strong player, as is Rasic. A couple of really nice Huns Wars here today. Meanwhile, crossbows in... Oh, we were seeing a forward siege workshop there from Teal. Oops, missed that. Wish I was a better commentator. I should have seen that. Villager snuck forward, built a forward siege workshop on the hill, but it was not meant to be, at least not for now. the knights there are in play, but this is a pretty beefy looking group of crossbows and skirms, +2/+1 on those. They're going to be on top of the hill fighting here. Unfortunately, they do not have ballistics, so they're not hitting their target very much, but they should be able to mass up on top of this hill. And yeah, Teal doesn't want any of that fight. Ezreal, for the moment, although he has +2 in bloodlines, is going to head forward with his knights and try to get some harassment in. Unfortunately for him, what he's going to find is a lot of spears protecting this gold, and quite a few cav archers as well. Actually, Ezreal's not even going to get forward before he gets discovered, and for now, it looks like those knights are going to try to run in and create some chaos in this eco, but look at all the free hits those spears are getting in. That is definitely what you want to do if you are Rasic. Interesting that Rasic put all of his spears in one spot, as if he just expected a full-on blitz here from Teal, and that's what he got. He got a full-on blitz. He cleaned up every single knight there. Did he? Almost. Looks like one of those knights will escape. The other will probably die very soon. Meanwhile, on the other side, Red is coming in with a crossbow and skirmisher mix, and he's ready to put some nails in this coffin. He's 5 villagers ahead at the moment, still on 1 TC, has a huge military advantage by 30 units, and actually decent military composition coming forward. This is a nasty group. You don't want to fight that on top of a hill. In defense, Ezreal has a Siege Workshop, which can pop out a Mangonel, I suppose, and try to get one epic shot in on these guys. But for the moment, he has not queued it up. There it is. So Mangonel on the way, but I wonder if it will be too late, because it's going to have to basically roll its way all the way back into Ezreal's area. Might be too late by then. It looks like Rasic is going to work his way through this palisade. He is sending cav archers forward. Those are bloodline +2/+1. In defense, the Teal player is going to have really straight up knights. He's going to go with bloodline +2 knights. They can take on this group if they want, but man, this is a lot. This is a nice, decent little pack of archers and skirms. Let's see. Let's see if they can ball up and get a hill advantage and win this fight. Looks like they will grab a knight. Looks like they'll be grabbing another. At least for the moment, they are keeping those knights busy. Looks like they're going to get cleaned, though. They're going to get cleaned, and the cav archers, what are they going to do? Are they going to come get into the fray, or are they going to head back home and mass up a little bit more? Quite a few knights going down there for relatively cheap. It looks like this is Ezreal's. Man, he's just losing all of his army. Oh, here comes the Mangonel. I wonder how those Mangonels are triggered, because sometimes... Ooh, Mangonel shot. Decent Mangonel shot. Gonna be very useful. What up, Flu? Welcome. Looks like in the end, this is all going to get cleaned up here from Teal. Mangonel's going to clean up those archers, but here come the cav archers, and they are en masse. In defense, all Teal has here is Mangonels. All Rasic needs to do is not take too many Mangonel shots on his cav archers. I'm not even sure he should go back and pick that off. I think he should just run straight in. I wonder how Mangonels are triggered, because sometimes it takes a lot less time to shoot than others. Yeah, man. I do know what you mean. You have to attack ground with them for sure. That's one thing I can tell you, even though I suck. I can tell you need to attack ground. You can't let them attack on their own. They're just too stupid. They do not have the best AI. Yeah. Welcome, Flu. Welcome to the stream. Flu is here. I think I just caught the Flu. And there is the GG from Ezreal. So yeah, guys, that's game 3. We're going to see 2 wins for Rasic, 1 win for Ezreal, and that will be the end of that. So yeah, let's jump out of here real quick, put on the Crystal Balls overlay, and I'll explain it one more time, even though I think we're probably done with Crystal Balls. So yeah, today I was bored at work. I decided that I was going to try to predict who the next big player is going to be, somebody who maybe I haven't watched any games from in the past. I looked for 1v1 rated players between 26 and 100 who had a lot of games and a lot of years playing. I was hoping to eliminate any Smurfs, which hopefully I did. And I came out with 3 players: Rasic, Ezreal, and Nero. So those are the 3 Crystal Ball players. The number 1 player on that list was Rasic. He gained 205 points in the past 3 months. Really impressive. Hello everybody. Yeah, so that is the stream. It is 9:20 over here. I think I'm going to call it a day. I think that's it, guys. Thanks, and gals. Sorry, not just guys, everybody. Thanks for being here. This was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Feel free. I told you I'd show you my email. So yeah, if you want to send a picture over, killer.b.aoc@gmail.com. send me an email there with a small picture, and I will add you to the stream. Always cool to personalize the overlay here. We have a couple of them now. We have one that is, quite a few people from the early days, and then quite a few people from the last couple weeks as well.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Noise, for the follow. Appreciate the follow. Guys, hit the follow button if you haven't done it yet. Oh, ourselves. Thanks for the, thank you so much for the, advertising. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate the, Flu following. Flu. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate the information in the stream. Thanks for the couple of new follows. That feels really cool. And I think for now, that's it. You may see me. I can't commit to it yet. It's going to be awfully early. But you may see me at 9 a.m. GMT tomorrow. The Masters of Mega Random games continue to work their way through. And what are we seeing tomorrow? I think we have a Slam game tomorrow, don't we? Let's double check AOC Zone and see what the calendar says. I've been toying with the idea of getting up. It'll be 5 a.m. where I'm at. It's Slam v Tato tomorrow morning, 9 GMT. Oh man, I think I might do that. So if you happen to be awake, check it out. If I'm not here, there will be another. Oh, there'll be other great streamers doing the game either way. But hopefully, I'll be able to wake myself up and do it. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the stream. Thanks for the follows. Potato, yeah, Tato or Tato, whatever you prefer, I suppose. Let me just check real quick and see if there's one last thing I can do to be a good member of the community. Let's see. Yeah, guys, I'd love to hear any comments on this stream. I've decided that maybe it's time for me to do a little bit more work setting up the stream, thinking of ideas, trying to do new things, doing a little research, and a little bit less time actually on air. I think I can increase the quality and decrease the quantity just by a little. Thank you. I'm back. Thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you like the streaming. It's my favorite hobby. Love me to stream some AOC. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. You might see me tomorrow morning at 9 GMT doing some Masters of Mega Random. If you don't catch me then, feel free to check out the videos, check out the YouTube channel, or check out the Twitch recordings, and you can see what we decided to do there. But anyway, I'm calling it a night. Thanks again to everybody who followed. Do appreciate those follows. And yeah, until next time, until maybe early tomorrow morning, this is Killer B signing off. Thanks again. And send me some comments. killer.b.aoc@gmail. Tell me if you like the crystal balls idea. Tell me if you like it. Good night, all. Peace.